Wild Bill. Welcome to A Grain of Salt. We're here in Studio A, and we endeavor to bring you a grain of salt. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. There's plenty of room. Not really. There's not really enough room in here for all of us. I guess we could pack in about, I don't know if you done it right, you might pack in 8 or so people in here if you laid them out like cordwood and got them around the gear stiff. And when I was a youth pastor years ago, we took a little bitty old, I don't know what it was, seemed like it might have been a little old Honda Accord or something, and we put 18 teenagers in that car and shut the doors. I'll never forget it as long as I live. It was funny. When I would try to shut the door at last door to get it closed, every time I pushed on it, the horn would blow. We had so much fun. I had fun. They were screaming, "Oh, get us out of here!" Anyway. So in our last video, you know, and we've been talking about this possible false doctrine about faith. Now, there is real faith. Please don't misunderstand me. There is something called that is real from God. Real faith. But I think that there's a possibility that man has got a hold of that and twisted it. Well, we'll get into it. Why they twist it, just like they twist everything that's of God. False teachers and such. It's all about the elevation of man and bringing God way down and exalting man above God. We know where it comes from. Who does that? Think about that. But some of the things I'm going to say might be tough, but just hang in there and take it with a grain of salt and test everything. That's what we're instructed to do according to what is it, 2 Thessalonians 5:20, somewhere right in there. You know, despise not prophesying, what man says, you know, the teachings of men. Don't despise it when a man teaches, but test everything and hold fast that which is good. That's your responsibility and mine too. So just, you know, and this is my disclaimer, if you don't think you can handle it, you need to turn it off right now, because I'm going to give you the ponderings of my mind from years back. You know, I just hadn't talked about it with very many people at all. I've just held these things in my heart because I know how backwards it is to the world and the way the world goes. And, you know, at any rate. But there is a doctrine out there taught that brings our understanding of what faith is down on a earthly, fleshly, sensual level. When I say sensual, what I mean is it's based on the 5 senses, you know. What is it? Tasting, touching, smelling, seeing, and hearing. Can you believe I got that right? But brings it down on an earthly level, what real faith is, and it changes it. And again, this faith that I'm talking about, the false faith, is very, very fleshly, very, very much based on elevation of man. And over there in 2 Timothy, he says, in the last days, men will be lovers of self, lovers of money, boastful and arrogant, holding to a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. And he says to avoid such men. Lovers of self, that means they don't deny themselves anything. I mean, whatever they can see whatever they can experience here, whatever it is, they're going to get it. Why? I wonder if that sounds like anybody we know. They're going to be lovers of money. Now this is a toughie, because we all tempted with that right there, ain't we? And so we have to bring our flesh under and learn contentment with such as we've been given. Does that sound like, you know, we're going to continue. He says to avoid these men. Get away from them. Get away from them. And over in chapter 4, Paul's talking to Timothy. And he says, preach the word and reprove and rebuke and exhort with great patience, you know, these things, and instruct. And he says, for the time will come when men will not endure sound doctrine. And they will accumulate for themselves, they'll be wanting to have their ears tickled, and they'll accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance with their desires. In other words, this guy over here, he talks about things I want. I need to be around him, because that appeals to me. And they will turn away their ears from the truth. I mean, well, let's look at what Peter says. Peter says in 2 Peter, and he's talking about false teachers and false prophets here, and what their MO is, and he says that they are stains and blemishes, reveling in their own deceptions as they carouse and live among you. You know, they have their eyes are full of adultery that never cease from sin, enticing unstable souls, having a heart trained in greed. They're accursed children. Whew. Hearts trained in greed, forsaking the right way. False teachers, false prophets, and they live among us. Anyway, we'll talk more about this. I want you to take it all, though, with a grain of salt. Do your own homework.